Okay. Okay. Arceno. We did this before. You guys remember this wine? The 21 was a real sock knocker around here. I don't know what Italian for sock knocker is, but we're gonna keep it a little short and sweet today. Got yelled at by Patrick a week ago. He was really mean to me. I mean, I cried after. I never let him see it cry, right? All right, so here's the deal with 2022. We've been on about 2021 as a vintage in Tuscany, as a great vintage in Tuscany, and it is, and it was. It's a fabulous year. Now, one of the reasons 21 was so great was the homogeneity of the vintage. That word. The homogeneity of the vintage. It was a top vintage and everything worked at the same level. There were very few instances where someone got caught out, someone got put out, bad weather here, bad something here, and because of that, this wine wasn't as good. In 21, that really didn't happen. In 22, that happened. 22, the heterogeneity of the vintage played into the fact that there will be varying levels of quality in 2022. There will be highs and there will be lows. Now, one of the places where we've seen a lot of highs actually is in the southern part of Chianti Classico, the warmer part of Chianti Classico, which you think, hey, God, it was a hot vintage. Why would the warm part be better off? Well, it's all about weather and weather patterns. In the southern part of Chianti Classico, they saw some very refreshing rains. I almost said wains. Very refreshing wains that that the other parts of Chianti Classico might not have been lucky enough to see. So they had a spot of rain in July, in August, and September, which naturally refreshed the vines and created this scenario that they could push through to full physiological ripeness during the growing season. They didn't have to worry about just achieving alcoholic ripeness and leaving the physiological ripeness short, the full maturity short. They could go in and actually get some fruit whenever they wanted. So a lot of producers down in Castelnuovo Beredenga in the southern part of Chianti Classico are really happy with the vintage. And in fact, Arceno considers it one of their best. So for those of you that didn't watch the last video, Tenuta di Arceno is a fabulous Chianti Classico estate in the Castelnuovo Beredenga area of southern Chianti Classico, next door neighbors to guys like Felsina and these top stalwart producers. The property is owned by the Benke family. Yes, the Jackson family bought it in 1994. Once they bought it, they installed the great Pierre Seillan as winemaker. Pierre Seillan, for those of you who may or may not know the name, he's the winemaker at Verité, one of the most famous winemakers in California and in France. He makes wines in Bordeaux, and he produces all those 100-point, $700 bottle Verité wines. Those are his touch, his hand. He was a founding winemaker here for the last, 20 years or so. Lawrence Cronin has been the hands-on winemaker, but Seillan is here all the time and is very, very involved with the winemaking process and the blending and tasting process. One of the keys here is 85% Sangiovese with 15% Merlot, right? So this is one of those classic Sangiovese, but with a little international, but really, is it international now? You know, they've been growing Merlot decently, respectfully in Tuscany for, gosh, almost 50 years now. So Merlot, when does it become a home team grape? When does Merlot become part of the blending, group with Canaiolo and Malvasia and all these other grape varieties? I don't know, but for now, I consider it a local grape. And so 85 Sangiovese, 15 Merlot, all aged in older French oak barrels. Wouldn't be surprised if these barrels came from his Chateau Le Seigle property in Saint Emilion, or maybe from Verité themselves, who knows. But high-end, previously used French oak barrels for the aging here. Let's have a look. Typical 2022 aromatically, a lot of fruit, and the fruit fades over to black fruits here. More black cherry as opposed to red cherry that we see in the northern part of Chianti Classico. Really typical for the area. The wine, the Chianti Classico, is the Sangiovese here. It tends to be a bigger, bolder style. And that's interesting. I remember this now. I haven't tasted this wine in a couple months, so it's good to come back to it. The quality of the tannin here is superb. Again, southern part of Chianti Classico, hot year. You'd expect these tannins to stick, have a more drying, severe feel to them. Especially with, hey, the way Sayon makes wines. Sayon's house style is kind of a more structured, pretty bold, elegant, but also a little grainy from a tannin standpoint. These are wines that are supposed to set down in the cellar for a long time. That's kind of his house style. And when you taste this, you taste the fineness of the wine, the silkiness of the tannin, along with all that power. This is a powerful style of Chianti Classico. This is an absolute delight. And blind, I would easily say it's a 21. Why wouldn't I? The wine's friggin' great. So guessing a vintage, couldn't really guess a vintage. It's just superb Chianti Classico, made in a semi-modern, full-bodied, fruit-forward style, which, oh darn, I'm sure is really not going to appeal to this market. I know we like our bigger styles of Sangiovese, and this one is kind of folded into that ilk, right? 93 points, Wine Spectator. They've held the price. Actually, we've held the price. The price to us did go up a little bit, but we're getting squeezed here. No political statements. The wine's $24.98 a bottle, so same price as last year. Again, 93 points from Spectator. That's one of their highest scores for a Chianti Classico, under 30 bucks you're going to find. Just another banging offering from Pierre Sayon, Lawrence Cronin, and the team at Tenuta di Arceno. Well played, gang. Fabulous wine.